Yo, what's going on, y'all? Come on in, come on in. Let's have a quick conversation, man. I know it's late. Big John, what's up, man?
What's
Big John said
happening?
he finna go to sleep on y'all, man. He said, hang in there.
Gotta hang in, Big John.
Facts. Big Drill, what's
What's
good?
happening? How y'all feeling? What's
Floyd,
happening there?
what's up, my guy? What's good?
What's
Floyd, the
happening there?
OG in here. Ike, what's up, man? He said, what did it do front office? And coaching staff seen it like they in sync. Yeah, they in sync. Yeah, they
Atlanta.
getting exactly what they need. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
what's up, man? What's good? Yeah, come on in, man. We got a couple quick conversation with y'all. We ain't gonna hold y'all because I know it's late. Breezy, what's up, my guy?
Man, you know these football fans, they up all night. Like they ain't got nowhere
Yeah,
to be
fact.
tomorrow.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
man.
y'all might have a busy day, but we gonna talk moves. We gonna talk the drafts. We can give y'all the grade if y'all want a grade, but y'all can follow along. Also, to finish it off, we're gonna talk about the undrafted free agents, and a couple of them I actually like. And I said this on the previous show. Um, we talked about special teams, how bad it was last year. They made sure that they fixed that special team this year. So, yeah, it's gonna be much better, I think. DBG 11, what's up, my guy?
Definitely got some
Big John
pieces.
said he gave him a B. I can roll with that. I can roll with that. But yeah, you know what to do, man. Tell people what's up. I ain't want to keep rambling, but go ahead.
Hey, man, it's that season, man. It's again. I mean, what we're going into May. And the thing about it is, Smitty, even though we're talking draft, it's still other moves that can be made. Still the crazy thing because the Falcons still got salary cap. They'll still have some left even after signing all the draftees and everything. Still waiting on that to happen and people start to accept more contracts and all that good stuff, so we can see
Agreed.
exactly what we'll be looking like. But ultimately, the Atlanta Falcons, I feel like Ian Cunningham did the best that he could. And you think about it, what was the best that he could do? He still got 6 draft picks out of this situation. And I feel like we can just move forward. And my thing is, good starting out. Like I've been seeing the grades, and I really feel like that people are being really hard on the Falcons. It's really interesting because I really would love to know like what would their A pluses be for the Falcons at considering the way that the draft board was falling and everything, and you had people jumping up and you had reaches, you had surprises and everything. So regardless of what they're saying, I mean, I've been seeing things like C+, I've seen C-, I've seen B-. I'm like, that's pretty stiff,
Yeah,
man. I still
but
think
but you know where that comes from, bro. If they don't get the popular picks, yeah, they gonna get them bad grades instead of
they,
going for
they
need.
got they got beat their BPA needs, if you ask me, because
Facts.
the linebacker room was weak. But coming into it, we was talking about that Smitty during day 2 and day 3. So even after they first took Kendall Daniels, it was just like we still was like, well, looking at that depth, we still need some more. But of course, we'll get into the draft picks and everything. But regardless, I think Ian Cunningham did the best that he could do, and I think a solid B+. That could be fair. You could look at it actually being possibly like an A- when you add the undrafted free agents, because there are some guys in there that you kind of like, if you got your shades on, you kind of pull your eyes, you know what I'm saying, pull it down like, hey, we're gonna see, man. Competition. That's what it's about, competition.
Facts. Tay said you got to be working at 6, but you got to
All
check
right.
us out before you go to bed, man. But you carry your ass to bed, cause boy, you gonna be wishing for that sleep in the morning. 6 o'clock will
Yeah.
be here before you know it. Trust
Hey,
me.
man.
I've been on the earth 46 years and I ain't never been asleep as the night went by slow. Never. Carlos Allen Jr. from the west side of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Undrafted free agent, yeah, defensive tackle, man. I actually like that move.
Yeah,
I actually
got
like that move.
play with
University of Houston.
Houston,
Houston.
Houston Cougars.
Yep.
So yeah, man. So
Ron,
yeah,
what's up, my guy?
what's happening?
Coop,
J.
what's up,
Coop,
man?
what's
Jordan
happening?
Texas boy. Y'all go check out Jordan Texas boy on YouTube, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
just found out he had a YouTube channel, man. He pissed
Where
me
you
off
been?
because he didn't
Where
tell me.
you been, Smitty? Where
Hey
you been?
man, look. Hey, look, I be doing my
Tell
own
Smitty
thing,
catch
man.
up to
Too
Jordan
busy
Texas.
studying. But yeah, y'all go check out Georgia Texas Boy on YouTube, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope to do a guest appearance on his show, man, sooner or later, if he'll
All
have
right.
me on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we do. Very young team and love the depth, absolutely. RB, what's up, my guy? He said he on the script as he always is with the scribbles and everything. Breeze said we need production on the field. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from. Names don't win games. Facts.
Yeah, man.
That's all we saying. My guy
Execute.
ATL
What's
GA
that name?
Faithful. Y'all go check him out on YouTube as well, man. Big supporter of mine. Been rocking with me since day one. Shout out to my guy, man. I always have a blast at training camp. But he said look like Birdo live at the same time. Yeah, I just talked to Birdo. I was just over there with them, chilling with them for a minute. I feel like you had to add JPJ to this draft. Yeah, you absolutely do. Because they traded the first round pick. So guess what? They got that first round pick last year, a year early. So yeah, you added to that, and then you think about the trade from last year. You got to add Xavier Watts to that too.
Yeah, I'm
he was
about to
part of
say
that trade. Yeah, you got to.
exactly. So if
So
you
yeah,
add in all of those factors,
you got to get a
really,
B plus. Yeah, I
yeah,
can go with that.
B
Yeah,
plus, A minus, depending on how you're looking at it. Depending on how you're looking at it, yeah, because we already seen the production really out of Watts, and since JPJ, I know everybody talk about the 10.5 sacks, but think about it. Xavier Watts tied Deion Sanders for the most, interceptions, coming in as a rookie. So you look at it like this, he wasn't no slouch either. So you can really actually, not trying to be biased, but if you think about it, Watts, JPJ, and then you include the draft picks right now, you really can go B plus, A minus strong without even including the undrafted free agents yet. So
yeah. Because I got a feeling at least 2 to 3 of those undrafted free agents gonna work out, especially at the receiver position. I think that's why Zachariah Branch was the only receiver taken. They had a plan with the wide receiver position. So yeah. But Ms. Drill said how many first round that didn't pay off? Thousands. For the Falcons, I can go Jamal Anderson. I can go Perea Jerry. I can keep going.
Smitty.
Yeah, I can keep going with that.
Talk about a cross chop body block. My goodness, Perea Jerry. So we need a DT.
I think they got a plan.
I mean, we did draft one, and then we also we picked up another guy or two in the undrafted range. But looking at it the way facts, fam. But looking at it the
facts.
way the way the draft fell, it feels like they really are confident in Mason Smith, the guy that we traded for. Got rid of a second round pick, Aruka Roro, for pretty much him, and they were drafted in the same round, the same draft. So it's like they're going to give him an opportunity because that felt like an Olbrich move, and possibly even a Nate Ollie move too, because Nate Ollie, he controls that defensive line, and maybe he's seen some things to where it was like, well, Rook is not necessarily in his position. This guy right here is not getting a lot of opportunities because of who he's behind. So let's go ahead and swap no swindle, and let's see how we can work it out.
Yeah, facts. Mason Smith is actually a little bigger than Rook, so that's probably why the trade gonna work out for us.
He's the same size as like Lee Hunter, around in the same area as him.
Yeah, I think Lee Hunter about 10, 15 pounds heavier though. He just you got a bigger lower body, man. Lee Hunter, that nigga's built like a Mack truck.
That's some bear.
Yeah. Dirty Bird say it's safe to say we won that trade. Yeah, we won it.
Yeah.
I think, who did they take outside of they took
Rams?
Yeah, at that number 9
the Rams went quarterback. They went Ty Simpson.
Oh yeah, they traded back. Yeah, they traded back. So yeah, because they started at 9 and they ended up at 13. So yeah, they took quarterback. Yeah, he gonna sit for a year. So yeah, we won.
I mean, I know I've seen some people trying to kind of like poke at the Falcons, like, well, what if Ty Simpson turns into a Hall of Famer? And I was like, okay, what if JPJ cleans up his act? You never hear anything bad again, and he goes and be a Hall of Famer. I won't care what Ty Simpson does. It's just like, well, at the end of the day, we still won that trade overall. Again, and when you include Xavier Watts, the fact that Xavier Watson came in his first year and did what he did is just, and he's a first round talent. So you got him, you got JPJ, you got this year's draft picks. I feel like the Falcons are making waves. So we're going to see. But yeah, man, Smitty, I know here's a segment I like to call "And Take Your Homeboy With You." And what I'm referring to is the shakeup with the front office and everything that's going on. Rich McKay, of course, relieved of his duties as his role as team president. So, of course, other guys are going to have to move along. And how is that going on? Because the team parted ways with Senior Director of Football Administration, Chris Olsen. He also was overseeing a few other things for the Atlanta Falcons. But in comes Mr. Bryce Johnston. And, so he was hired. He was with the Philadelphia Eagles as Senior VP of Football Administration, Senior Personal Executive to oversee contracts and negotiations with the salary cap and management as well. And he's coming over and doing the same thing. So Chris Olsen is a part of that regime that was with Terry Fontenot, who is also no longer with us. Also kind of a Rich McKay, some higher-ish type work, communication and everything. They work behind the scenes. I still feel like they work behind the scenes for a few different things, even if they didn't see eye to eye. But regardless, like I said, the departure of Olsen and bringing in Johnson, this is an Ian Cunningham move. This is an Ian Cunningham guy, and he's going to oversee some things. And then you also factor in the fact that they brought in Keith Early as well, former guy that formerly worked with the Bears. They bring him in too as an area scout because you're parting ways with Ryan Pace. You're parting ways. What's my guy name? Because I had his name. It was another scouting guy. Because they got rid of another scouting guy because they brought in Sean Heelan, and he's going to be the director of the college scouting. And Kyle Smith, that's who it was. Thank good.
And Kyle Smith been here God knows how long.
Right.
Kyle Smith been here about 20 years, I know, at least.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You got rid of Kyle Smith, you got rid of Ryan Pace, and you got Sean Heelan coming in. And you just got all these different shakeups. Again, the entire really old regime is gone. And that's why I say, man, and take your homeboy with you. Because Rich McKay was out the door, Terry Fontenot out the door. But you think about it, about the timing of when it had to happen. Some people would wonder, well, why the heck they just didn't get rid of everybody and clean house and just start from the beginning? Well, think about it. All the moves, all these scouting that has been done, all this stuff is done ahead of time. So you really want to fire everybody and lose the scouting, the data that you've already accumulated so far? I don't think that would have been smart anyway either. So
it wouldn't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you would have lost all that if those people walked out the door. And it also is some more names that was actually fired as well. Alex Brown, Ben Martinez, Shelly Harvey, who was also a scouting assistant, and Shipley Hurl. All those people was a part of the scouting department, and now they're out the door because we're bringing in new people. Like I was just saying, I just named different people. I don't have full names of the new scouting department, but those are some of the names that were a part of it that are no longer with us. So again, shake up all the way around, and I think it was smart to at least, if you're going to start moving off from guys like in the salary cap department, because you still had moves you had to make. What's up, Dixon Wade? That boy Larry.
Dixon Wade, man, y'all go check him out on YouTube, man. I always bring y'all live broadcasts of Atlanta sports. So y'all please go check out Larry and Shonda Dixon, man, Dixon Way. Ms. Drea, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it. But please continue, Chris.
Yeah, man, but I'm just saying, like, out with the old, in with the new completely. I really do still appreciate that, they didn't just straight clean house and just try to possibly lose all the data. They at least gave the people the pretty much, I guess, like an exit wound, for lack of a better term, because it's like, hey,
right,
you're on the way out the door, but there's no point in just kicking you out the door so fast. let's go ahead and appreciate the work that you have put in before you get ready to move on. So again, all this happening after the draft is just really just another strategic move. Now Ian has his cap guy, as Chris Olsen was Terry and Rich and everybody else is, Raheem, all their cap guy. So
yeah,
hey,
and you see what he had to say. Ian Cunningham had to say about the move. He said he's an outstanding professional and someone I know well from our time together in Philadelphia. And as I've been telling y'all from the jump, familiarity is going to be key with this front office and what's going on with the transition of this team. Because if it's familiarity, everybody's going to be on the same page. And like somebody said in chat, when the front office is on the same page, guess what? That's how you build a winning organization. Because guess what? He was in Philadelphia when they won their last 2 Super Bowls. Just think about that.
Talked about that, Smitty. We talked about how familiarity, it can be a good or bad thing. Remember, we talked about this way back when, before Ian even got here. And we were saying, hey, they could go familiar, but it could be a good thing or a bad thing. It's just normally it just didn't work out for the Falcons. Now, honestly, I can honestly say right now, the familiarity, when it's used properly, when you have that power, man, that great power coming with responsibility, and you're using it correctly, you start getting good results. And, shout out to the Falcons. And if you follow around and just looking around the league, the Falcons are actually getting treated are in the catbird seat as far as treatment right now when it comes to even this move with Bryce Johnston. Like, a lot of people are not only surprised, but they are uplifting the Falcons, saying, hey, man, that was a good move by Ian Cunningham. So yeah, it's just all about continuously making moves. But right now, we're seeing like we're doing it in the front office. We're doing the best that we can with draft picks and salary cap, putting new people in positions that are familiar, not just, necessarily like promoting from within, but we're bringing in experience and everything. And it's a good thing for the Atlanta Falcons, man. Just keep on waiting. Just be careful. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on going. And I love what Ian Cunningham is doing, bro. I can't even lie to you.
Facts.
Trying my best. Now I was about to say, just trying my best not to be too much of a fan. And you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, to be even keeled. But it is exciting to have everything be straightforward and clean cut and clear cut. Remember, we've been the Secret Service for the longest.
Facts. But to finish it off, he said he saw firsthand his ability to combine long-term vision with a detailed and disciplined approach. And he's talking about building those Super Bowl teams. Because y'all got to remember, he the one put together the Super Bowl team starting with Saquon Barkley 3 years ago. Just think about that. A.J. Brown, they weren't scared to make that move, even though it didn't pay off like they wanted. They made a lot of key moves with a lot of superstar type players, because they got AJ Brown from Tennessee, Saquon from came over as a free agent from New York. Who else they brought in? And they already had a decent team already, but switching over to Jalen Hurts being the starting quarterback. So yeah, they made a lot of good moves the last couple of years there. But that, and like ATLGA say, Facebook, just go press subscribe on A1 Forever and Smitty Sports Machine, and also go to his page, ATLGA Faithful. Y'all can check him out on YouTube. Go over there and subscribe to his channel, like his videos. He's I think he's at 1,000 now. If he's not, he's close to it. So y'all please go check out ATLGA Faithful. We definitely have him on once the season starts. Yeah, before if he wants to join us. Shout out to Dirty Bird Games. They were just about to asked about this. Another great hire. Live it and how the front office is bringing up. My boy had a question earlier. Let me see. J Texas. Yeah, that's it. He said, "What are y'all thoughts on JPJ? I don't see the NFL doing anything to after he finished the 6-month program. So if the suspension comes, it might be next year." No. Once he's cleared and his legal action is cleared, he'll be suspended. Like Chris said, probably 6 games. And then he'll still be going through the program at the same time. So they're going to give him the suspension, get it out the way. So he may be back probably midway through the season, as I can see. But
Yeah.
I think he'll be if he's able to work out with the team, he'll be fine when he come back. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's no point of drawing it out all the way to 27. That'll be ridiculous. Just go ahead and while he's in the program, my thing is if he's in the program for the 6 months, it's April about to go into May. So let's say June he starts it. He end up getting a suspension. By the time he really finishes up on the 6 months, he'd probably be getting close to being coming back from suspension, at least to that point to where because we're about halfway through it for what about the third or fourth game. After that, like he'll be allowed to like start practicing or at least on the facility for training or something like that. I know it's like the closer you start getting to the end of it, you start letting back into the facility. So it's like regardless, he'll be close to that. There's no point in extending this thing.
correct. Agreed. But yeah, we gonna slide right on into the next topic. Got that one out the way about the new front office staff. But
Yes,
before we go on, man, again, man, if y'all feel free to drop them super chats, man. Truly appreciate on A1 Forever or Smitty Sports Machine. But ATLJ Faithful said all those other people giving low draft grades on us or just hating, and they don't know what the people talking about. See, because every team has a plan, and if every team stick to that plan, if they fine with it, we should be fine with it.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree. I mean, at the end of the day,
I agree. He aiming to be a top safety in the league. He's off to a great start. Absolutely.
off to a magnificent start.
Dan said Falcon front office A+, Saints C, Bucks B, Panthers D+. I got to get a Panthers a strong B because Dan Morgan has done a hell of a job putting that team back together. I'm gonna give credit what credit is due. Dan Morgan has done a damn good job with the Carolina front office.
Yeah, man. But on the flip side, we'll give him a D just because of it.
You stupid.
We'll give him a D anyway.
T Terry, what's up, my guy?
What's happening, T Terry? Yeah, man. He was just in there. We were listening to Recondo. Shout out to Recondo, man. We're gonna get him on here too real soon.
Facts. Getting anyone from New England, get anyone from the Eagles front office is a W for the Falcons. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I mean, they know
did you
how
guys
to do
hear
it.
about anything about the about Arthur turning over the reins to Josh? You know, I haven't heard anything. I might make a few calls and see what's going on with that.
See what you can find out, Smitty. Stop playing, man. See what you can find out.
I'm tied in with former players. Yeah, I'm tied in with former players, so I can get the inside scoop. Go ahead.
To me, Smitty, I think the writing is on the wall. You think about it for like the last 2 or 3 seasons, you've been starting to see the face more often, especially even in the draft room. You've seen it this past draft. In the last draft, it's like he start answering the phones, being on the phones. I feel like as the years go by, more and more you're going to start seeing a more active Josh Blank. I think so.
Yeah, and I said earlier this offseason and late last season that I could see, them starting to switch into Josh being, more of a bigger role because Arthur's 83 years old, man. How much longer is he going to want to do this? He's the one to want to enjoy his life to a certain extent to where he don't have to worry about football. So he's teaching Josh the ropes, and I absolutely love it because if you get a younger mind in the front office, they start, thinking different. Because, don't get me wrong, sometimes, older people just stuck in their ways and they don't want to change anything. So, sometimes it's good. Dan, what's up, my guy? He said Ian signed Jack Strand instead of going after Haynes King. Tell me he chose upside over homegrown. Strand has a lot of upside and a better passer. And Dan, I'm glad you said that because I actually talked about Jack Strand about 2-3 weeks ago when I first heard the reports that they were looking at him. He's a Division II quarterback, over 13,000 yards, 126 touchdowns. Dude has a Dan Marino type arm. So and honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all, I think he'll make the roster over Trevor Siemian because one, he's younger, and two, I think it's somebody that they can develop. And as I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about this, if they can win at the quarterback position by bringing in an undrafted free agent as a quarterback, had that Kurt Warner effect, they can build the rest of the team. And we don't look. Sky's the limit. Because remember when Kurt Warner, it's the same situation. Kurt Warner got to St. Louis, and guess what? He had Marshall Faulk as a running back.
Yeah,
who
man.
do we have as a running back?
And you know, we was gonna wait until the undrafted portion of it, but real quick, just because his name is being mentioned, yeah, man, Jack Strand, I ain't gonna lie, 6'5", 240, and my goodness, man, you know, like he's joining a quarterback room to where he really can come in and earn himself a spot. Trevor Siemian is there, but again, like you said, this is a younger guy, and he's built like a tank. Have you seen this guy? Not gonna lie to you, very massive, you know, frame for a quarterback, strong guy, pretty durable. I understand he's like a Division II quarterback, but at the end of the day, like you said, he has that rocket arm, can take a hit, you know, so someone that's developmental, and honestly, you get the right hands on him, he can turn into something. So it's interesting. It's really interesting, regardless of our quarterback room with MPJ and Tua. It still is interesting having Jack Strand back there. And you look at it like this, guys. You want to still be able to keep him around to see what you can do with him, you know, because you think about it, you put him out there. I'm pretty sure that somebody's going to take a chance on the 6'5" guy, 240 with a rocket arm. You know, you look
like
at
Big
it
Ben.
worse. Yeah, because you could do worse, you know. So it's like, hey, Falcons, take your time with that one. And regardless, even if he is a backup, that's a heck of a backup to have, just at least, you know, as far as like the frame goes. And if he can put it all together with the talent and the arm and, of course, you know, the touch of the ball, we'll see what happens with Jack Strand. But he's a very interesting project, very interesting quarterback. And I'm actually excited just to see where he lands with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is we talk about Jesse Tucker all the time. He came out of Valdosta State back in the day as an undrafted free agent. So it might be time for another one of those type moves nearly 40 years later. I can see it. But ATLGA, we see your question. We'll get into that in 1 second. We're going to start with Avion Terrell at the number 48 pick. This was to me big steal because as y'all know, if y'all been following, I thought he was going to be a top 20 pick. You talk about coming out of Clemson. You look at the numbers. You look at his physical build. I think he's 5'9", about 185, 190. But look at what he does on the field. If you look at his tape, he's somebody at his size. He plays man. He plays press. He has great technique. And you talk about somebody that's not scared to tackle. And when you talk about his physicality, he reminds you of AJ. AJ is one of those cornerback. He plays, you know, like a safety. He's a safety corner mix because he's not scared to mix it up. He's not scared to set the edge at cornerback. And Avion give you those same type instincts. But what were your thoughts when they took him at number 48?
First of all, it was surprising that he even dropped that far. I think I even remember asking you, I was like, hold on, Avion haven't been taken yet? And he's like around in the 40 range. And then, yeah, he hasn't been taken yet. And then you're getting closer. And it's like, hey, this really may be a reality. Then Giovanni Bernard goes as well. So it's like even freeing it up even more, even though it seems like the Falcons really had their eye on Avion regardless around in the 46.
It's Jeremy Bernard, not Giovanni. You think about the running back.
Hey, man, she need to just come on back or stop talking about me one. Thanks for watching.
He don't retire.
Thanks for watching the show. That's what it is. But yeah, man, you had Jeremy Bernard, you know, so he already had went, but it seemed like the Falcons wanted Avion regardless around in the 46 range, right before they take him because they gave AJ a call. And you seen for those who've seen the video or haven't seen the video, it's a video AJ talking about it and talking about how he almost lost his breath and almost fainted and all that good stuff. But outside of that, man, regardless, you have a guy with, let's say, at the 5'11" frame, but he's strong, highly competitive, a ball hawk, had 3 interceptions last year, a total of 125 tackles, but he'll break up the pass too because he had 25 of those. I think the biggest thing 8 forced fumbles. This guy will punch the ball out. He will hunt the ball, and you just try to get extra possessions for your defense. That's what you want to see. I know they talk about him being undersized, but again, like I said, Avion is strong. I don't know if people really paid attention to it. Avion picked up AJ when he got drafted. Picked him up in the air slightly. So again, man, that's the older brother. So regardless.
Yeah, and it's funny you talk about size. What made me change my mind about size was a guy named Brent Grimes back in the day. He was about 5'8", 5'9" himself. Now they had him listed at 5'10" and a half, but we knew that wasn't true because I saw him in person. And he had a bit of 5'8" and a half, 5'9". But look, when you have a mentality that you can play bigger than what you are, I mean, look, that's the type of player that you want. And we've been searching for a number 2 corner for how long? A long time. And now one falls in our lap. We got to take it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got cuffs on both sides, whether you like it or not. And think about this too, man. Both guys are physical. Both guys are not afraid to get into the run game. We've seen, for those who follow Avion or at least some of his tape, he will get in there and challenge bigger guys. I've seen Avion Terrell challenge offensive lineman at 300 pounds. I've seen Avion Terrell come out of nowhere and blow up a tight end and make him fumble. So it's like, at the end of the day, he's fearless. He's going to come in there and he has slightly better ball skills, I think, as well, as far as when it comes to trying to gain interceptions, something that people always complain about when it goes to AJ. They be like, you don't pick the ball off enough. But at the end of the day, AJ gets those pass breakups, and sometimes AJ does something even better. They don't even look his way. But at the end of the day, so just wait until Avion, I feel like he's fully acclimated. You're going to have times to where quarterbacks are really going to have to either try AJ or they're going to have to try Avion, and that could spell disaster for offenses, man. The ball could be going the other way, especially when you add Billy Bowman when he returns to, full strength. He's going to be that slot guy. And then you got Jesse Bates. You also have my guy Xavier Watts back there too. I'm just thinking about for this year. We're not even going to talk about the future. We're just going to talk about just this year. That's already, I think, a polarizing defense secondary right there, just on paper.
Agreed.
So I love the
pick. Avion. Go ahead. I bet.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Avion starts in the slot until Bowman gets back, and then slowly work his way gradually to the outside. Because I can see him rotating with Mike Hughes, and if he outplays Mike Hughes, I can see him taking over that number 2 spot before the year is over. I think they're going to work him in slowly in the slot until Bowman is 100%. Because you got to think this is Jesse Bates last year with Atlanta, possibly. Even though he said he want to retire a Falcon, that's yet to be seen if he's going to take that type of pay cut. So you can see Bowman in at the other safety position next year. So in 27. So they doing it right.
I thought that maybe Mike Hughes may end up at the slot because they may just want to start Avion on the outside just from the get-go.
I mean, it could be either or.
Yeah, because he's big. He's the size enough to play the slot, and he could. I can definitely see it. Yeah, I'm not saying that you're wrong at all. I can definitely see that being another outlet for Avion. Not necessarily just throw him out there because you still do have Mike Hughes, somebody that is at least used to being on the outside level. Outside in the NFL level. So yeah, I can definitely see that. That's a good point. It's a good point too. You could slot either or.
Yeah, and the thing about it, man, Mike Hughes, with his speed, he's actually better in at the nickel than he is on the outside, because he's a better zone guy than he is a zone or a press guy than he is a man guy. Man is where he actually struggles. ATLJ Faithful said Avion and Branch were exactly the 2 picks I wanted from the jump. Surprisingly, they fell to us, and we actually took both of them. A+ on both of them. I agree, 100%. Let me see. The question about the wide receiver room.
Yeah,
go ahead, my bad. We're gonna go to wide receiver. Make your point right quick.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just agreeing with ATL, man. It's like, when is the last time that really the Falcons really actually get somebody that you want? And it's mostly everybody is happy with it, So I know shout out to Bro Talking Berto. I know they had an interesting question where they was asking when was the last time where everybody was on the same page, or at least majority for a draft pick. And it's like when Avion Terrell was drafted, it seemed like we were all on the same page. The only thing I can possibly think about, and I know it still was some backlash because of that, but I'm thinking Michael Vick, because I know when I think about Matt Ryan, you remember Glenn Dorsey was there too, and a lot of people wanted to go Dorsey.
Right.
So glad
that didn't work out.
So glad we didn't go Glenn
Didn't
Dorsey.
work out. That didn't work out. I think he went to the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. But let's get to the next pick, man. Zachariah Branch. A lot of us called for this pick, and guess what? We knew it was coming because at the pro day, what did we kept seeing them talking to Zach Branch? They went up to the University of Georgia. They probably talked to a couple of players, but I think that was their main focus. I think Christian Miller was probably on their chart too, but we knew he wasn't gonna last to 48. Let's keep it real. Because the closer we got to the draft, his name just started skyrocketing up the board. We talked about Caleb Banks. He got taken by Minnesota before we even got halfway through the first round.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't gonna fall away, but hey, we still got the receiver, the big play we got.
Peter Woods, he was gone too.
He
got selected early.
Yep. So I mean, hey, it happens. But ATLGA faithful, man. He say talking about the wide receiver position at number 79. He said big question in the wide receiver room. Drake, Dotson, Branch, 4 locks. Then who? Will you to keep about 5 or 6? Washington, Blair, or newcomers? There's one guy that I like that from the University of Wisconsin, Vinny Anthony II. 6'1", 195 pounds, I think, but he's a mighty physical guy. And he's a possession receiver, and I think he fits in right to where I think they want to be as far as a run blocker, as far as good, solid hands. But he's one of them ones I'm keeping an eye on. Malik Rutherford from Georgia Tech is another one. He's about, I think, 5'11", 6 feet. He's about 190, and he's pretty fast. Good run out to the catch guy. Makes tough catches. Yeah. So, I mean, 2 of those guys, I think is going to make – they're either going to be on the practice squad or they're going to make the 53-man roster.
Another guy with some good size and speed to him is Adrell Anthony from Duke. He transferred from Michigan, then he went to Oklahoma, then he went to Duke. He has some speed on him, and honestly, he has a catch radius, good catch radius, and light on his feet too as well. It'd be interesting to see if he's able to make the squad, but it's going to be tough just because of the first 2 guys that you just said, especially Vinny Anthony. He's already getting paid $265,000 guaranteed, which is similar.
They really like him.
Which is similar. Remember when we paid Kobe Bryant last year, and he ended up making the team. So we'll see what happens with that. I do like Rutherford as well. He's a speed merchant as well, so he can get on down the field. The Keelan Marion is another interesting guy. I feel like he is a guy that could make his way because of special teams. He's a specialist. But my thing is he's a vertical threat as well. So we'll see how he's able to maneuver. That wide receiver room is going to be interesting. Just talking about some of these guys, and we took 5 wide receivers. So it's 5 undrafted free agents that we have for wide receiver, ranging from Wisconsin, Georgia Tech, Minnesota, Duke, and Miami. So we'll see exactly what the Atlanta Falcons are looking at. But obviously, just signing all those undrafted free agents, it screams to me that they are not secure behind those 4 that you just said. And 2 of those guys are on, or deals are winding down, or at least they're on 1-year deals.
They're on a futures contract, so they have to get a new deal during the season. But I think Chris Blair may not ever get a fair shot, as somebody said in the chat. And Casey Washington, that was last regime, so he gonna have to improve. He gonna have to prove himself this year, or he could see himself on the chopping block. Because these young guys, they're gonna come in hungry. They're gonna have a chip on their shoulder, and they're gonna be ready to go. But Zachariah Branch,
don't look now, Casey Washington. Don't look now, Casey Washington. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, think about it. Casey was out the last 4 or 5 games, and he was a healthy scratch. Think about that. So yeah, but yeah, Zachariah Branch at number 79. I gave that an A plus, man, because it's a playmaker that we need at the wide receiver position. What Taylor Gabriel used to be exactly 10 years ago is
Mm-hmm.
what he might be to this team right now. And then you look at
Ooh, okay.
also you look at Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson in the pass game. Then you
Mm-hmm.
add a dynamic talent like this that can take the top off the defense or run out to the catch guy that can just make it miserable for the defense. And we talk about Kyle Pitts controlling the middle of the field. This guy can do that too. And the type quarterback we have in Tua Tagovailoa, who likes to get the ball out 3 to 5 step drop, let it go. You got a fast guy like this, he's gonna thrive with that because you saw him do it in Miami with Waddle and Tariq Hill. So you get another receiver like that you're comfortable with. I absolutely love it. But anything else on Zachariah Branch before we go to Kendall
Oh yeah.
Daniels?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The thing about it is people got to remember. I know he got limited. Really, he failed to 79. Honestly, is because of partly because of the offense he was in with Georgia. Gunnar Stockton again does not have the arm that Carson Beck does. So if you was able to have a better arm, I definitely believe that he would have went higher. But regardless, I'm glad that he fell to the Atlanta Falcons. But just being honest, so Gunnar Stockton does not have the strongest arm. So there's only certain routes you were able to run. But if you look back at his UFC days, and I remember Zach Branch out there at UFC, I remember him
Yeah.
making plays out there in UFC. That's more so what you got to look at the tape to be able to see him actually run better routes and more routes. He can go short, intermediate, or long. And remember, what we was talking about, well, at least I was talking about, I wanted to keep Tyler because I wanted him to stay, and also because I wanted him and Bijan to play off of one another, being able to extend each other's careers, saying, because they're taking less carries because you're divvying it up. This can still be an extension because you have Zach Branch that you can use him in so many different ways. So you possibly can still use him in the screen game. You can use him coming out just straight out the backfield. You can use him out there in the slot on the outside and possibly let Zach Branch be not necessarily a running back, but a gadget player all the way around that you can use and still extend Bijan Robinson because you're giving Zach Branch the ball, getting him in space, letting him be able to navigate because he's one of those video game type of a players, one of those one of those type of
Right.
players. And when you unleash him, you still can give an extension to the run game and still give Bijan Robinson less carries or just use them both within the game too, man. So it's exciting to see what Zach Branch is going to be able to bring and see how really, man, Coach Reese and Co. That's what I say, Reese and Co. Because it's Ingstrom over there, Van Pelt over there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do when they get their hands on them, really.
And I keep telling y'all they got one of the better wide receiver coaches in the league. I think Ike Hilliard he was one of the top ones too. But they got a replacement that's just as damn good as Ike Hilliard. But yeah, Zachariah Branch is going to be an ultimate weapon. But Dirty Bird had a quick question. He said, "Do y'all think the days of not playing our stars is over with this regime?" He talking about in the preseason. That's yet to be seen. But I'm gonna just be honest with you, Dirty Bird. Bijan Robinson would still be off limits in the preseason
Yeah.
because I know what can happen to running backs. But as far as quarterbacks, they would absolutely play all preseason to get that chemistry going. But Bijan Robinson would be the only person exempt, from playing in the preseason. To me, what you think, A1?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say Bijan, what Drake, those type of guys you really don't necessarily need. I don't expect to see Kyle out there either. But every draft pick I expect to see, like every single one of them. Second year guys, I expect to see getting some snaps too. Quarterbacks got to get out there. I mean, we got to. My thing is, I expect to see is if he's making it through training camp like I expect him to. I expect to see some Jack Strand, possibly Trevor Siemian, because we may have 4 quarterbacks by the time we get into like final cuts, maybe anyway. So we'll see what happens there. But Michael Penix, again, I'm not trying to rush him back. I want him 100%. and you still got Tua. I'd still even think maybe Tua need to play a couple snaps just to get acclimated within the offense. I understand he's a veteran, but we ain't seen you. So, I mean, hey, why not?
Facts. Madrid said, get it right. It's USC, not
Yeah,
UCF.
yeah. USC, what I said? What I said?
You
Something
said
else?
UCF.
UCF? Oh, that's how I
Yeah.
felt.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
that's our alma
USC
mater, boy. You
Trojans.
got to get that right. You know, that was she from. She went out there, so
Hey man, I
yeah.
got mad love for UFC to be honest though, man. Like I'm not an active fan, but I do follow UFC a lot. That's why I already knew about your guy Jacoby Lane before you had did the profile. Oh, I said UFC. See, now it's funny why that because I actually got my UFC Atlanta Hawks hoodie not too far from me, so maybe I was
See,
I don't know.
look at your ass.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that had some influence though. Yeah, man.
But
UFC. Shit, I'm ready to get
yeah,
my MMA on, man. I'm ready to get my MMA on,
yeah.
man.
You said UFC. I guess you're gonna try to knock somebody out.
Hey,
But
man.
Blade Runner, what's up, my guy? He said Star need at least a half or multiple quarters in the preseason. Absolutely true. Next pick, we had a trade back in number 91. We got pick 134 and 208 from the Las Vegas Raiders. And Kendall Daniels, I think is going to be a super steal. Well, now I had to go look at his tape, man. We already have a Kendall Daniels on the team.
We do.
Yeah, Divine Diablo,
Couple of them.
safety linebacker hybrid. And Berto and Bro Talk made great points. Well, Bro Talk made a great point, and he talked about how we could possibly use Kendall Daniels as a Nick Emenwari type player, move him all around the field from the slot to a third safety on the field. You know, as a blitzer.
Yeah.
Just all kind of ways, and I could see it because we drafted Perkins, who's the Deion Jones type cover linebacker. Then you have Divine Diablo, who he can cover and he can play the run very well. So I could definitely see that. But tell me what you think about Kendall Daniels. He actually went to Oklahoma State before transferring to Oklahoma last year. But tell me what you think about Kendall Daniels.
Well, man, he's one of those creative players. When you look at him in the stature, he has the excellent length, which you wanted in a football player, versatility, solid against the run, but can navigate throughout the field all the way around. Complete Jeff Obert pick here, 1,000%. Now he is transitioning to the linebacker position because he played 3 seasons as a safety before moving into that hybrid linebacker role down in Oklahoma. But he's still, like I said, one of those versatile guy that you can use multiple ways. Jeff likes those type of players. Think about Xavier Watts and how versatile he is. You know, used to play wide receiver, then coming over being safety. And then again, think about guys in the past where we had Kamal Ishmael, a guy who was a safety, but converted to a linebacker as well. So you look at those type of players, and that's right. That's why I said a Jeff Obert pick. Absolutely, you can use him all different ways. I like what Bro Talk is feeling and saying about using him like Nick Emenwari, but it's gonna be interesting because you could float him around. You're gonna have Divine Diablo. You're still having Christian Harris, Channing Tendo if he makes the team as well. Because I mean, there's some guys,
He'll
and
be
you
a
still
special
got
teams
Harold
guy,
Perkins.
so I
still
expect
got
him to
Harold
make the team
Perkins.
as special. Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, man. Trust me, it
I
is.
like it.
Yeah,
I
I
like it.
mean, you got two explosive linebackers all ready to go with Diablo, and you got to think they replaced Caden Ellis with a more athletic Caden Ellis type linebacker. And that's the scary part, younger and faster version of Caden Ellis. But Kendall Daniels is pick number 134. The second part to that trade, defensive tackle Ontario Thompson. I didn't read in too much into it. A1, he read it down to a T, so I'll let you take this one away.
Yeah, man. This guy right here, 6'2", 306. And my thing is, think about his athletic score too. Is a 9.36 as the RAS score. And for those who don't know what that is, so that is a relative athletic score, and it ranges from 0 to 10, with 10 being the highest. Again, like I said, what he just got, that 9.36 for 336. So He is a guy that I think, honestly, the Falcons are planning on trying to use versatile guys in that interior line. He has the quickness. He ran a 4.7 in the 40-yard dash. So they like the fact that he's fleet of foot for his position. And again, he also is a guy that like has that bear claw. And I say that because he blocked multiple punts in college. He's undersized, yes, but my thing is you got Nate Ollie. I believe in him. And you got Jeff Ulbrich too, so I believe that they're going to be able to scheme for him because, like I said, he's just a bit undersized. But my thing is that quickness. Even though he's a little undersized, he's still strong, and he has that quickness, and he's quick-footed, and he makes quick decisions as well too, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use him. It was so hilarious hearing about his draft tape, or his draft when he was getting drafted, saying, "Are y'all for real? Y'all really taking me?" That was hilarious. And again, like, yeah, we're for real.
Right.
But it's upside though. He's an upside developmental player. You got him in the 6th round. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you bring him into the camp, see what he can do. It's not going to hurt the Atlanta Falcons because you get some pop out of him, like I think that they're going to. And again, like I said, he's a quick guy for the position. 6'2", 306. Again, a little undersized, but that quickness and that mean streak that he has as well too. And again, like I said, he has the bear claw because he's able to reach up and block punts. He's timed that pretty well. So you're looking at what possibly could be. I'm not mad necessarily at Thompson. Did have to go look up some tape a little bit because it was like, huh, what? But at the end of the day, I see where you got to look at the vision and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and then too, you got to think, man, they're going to run a lot of 4-3 sets too. They're going to run like a hybrid set. To sometimes you see a 4-3 set to a 3-4 set where you see Jalen Walker, James Pierce, and maybe D'Angelo Malone or someone else, even Kendall Daniels. You can see them lined up on the outside sometime. So what they're going to do is just going to have a lot of moving pieces. You've seen it last year. And you notice after that San Francisco game when Divine Diablo got injured, they kind of slowed down a little bit on the motion because he was their top guy moving around the field because sometimes he would line up on the outside, inside, or in the slot. So when he got hurt, they had to go to a basic traditional set because Bertrand didn't have the same type of athleticism. Caden Ellison had the same type of athleticism, so that's why their defense took a hit for 3 to 4 games when he was out. So now that they got the same kind of dudes that they drafted, they can kind of keep that momentum going in case something happens. So this is why they made these kind of moves. But 215, Harold Perkins Jr., we ain't got to say much. We talked about it already. To me, he's a Deion Jones clone. The only reason he fell in the draft was his ACL injury. If you look at his first two seasons in college football, he had over 70 tackles both seasons, double-digit tackle for losses. He had 1 interception those first 2 years, had 3 last year. So he improves his coverage. So he's, like I said, he's a Deion Jones clone. You can use him in the slot. You can use him as a run stopper if you need to. Now, he's a little bit undersized, like A1 said. But at the same time, with 4.38 speed, he makes up for that, wholeheartedly. So he may have lost a step from that 4.38, but he's still fast. He's still aggressive. He's still a sideline to sideline guy. So I actually love that 215 pick. I think we got an absolute steal with that. But A1, go ahead.
He's still running close to, close to a 4.4, so even coming off of that. So the speed is still there. I actually called this one. I expected it to happen a little sooner, but I'm not mad at all. Round 6, picking up a guy who was, I would like to call. I called Billy Bowman a heat-seeking missile last year when we had took him in. This is another one. And the only thing about it is he's at linebacker, and it's a great value pick. Again, like I said, think about the high ceiling that Perkins has, and getting him in the 6th round. That value you can't get that anywhere else like that. He's a productive blitzer. Think about this: even in the 2025 season, coming off of a torn ACL, right? He still gave you 56 tackles, 4 sacks, and 3 interceptions. Coming off of an ACL, he still gave you 56 tackles, 4 sacks, and 3 interceptions. He's a high energy guy, and he's a playmaker. The Atlanta Falcons got themselves yet another guy that really they can use him as a mercenary for real. That you can really move him around, and he can go after the quarterback. He's shown the ability to, shown the versatility. Hey, just stay healthy, and I believe that he's definitely going to carve out a role in this Falcons defense.
Agreed. So Harold Perkins is pick number 215. And let's get to the last one. Ethan Oniwa.
Yeah.
He didn't have many snaps last year. Ohio State didn't pan out. He came over from Rice after 4 years. So it was his 5th year in college. And he actually only had 97 snaps last year. But again, I see the vision on this as well. He's 6'7", 335. You talk about a run grader. When you talk about a run grader, this is what he excels in. That came in his scouting report at Rice. You know that he's an excellent run blocker. So this is what the Falcons they're thinking about that blind side. We don't know how he's going to pan out. If he pans out on the right or the left side, I think it's a win either way. But Bill Callahan is our offensive line coach, so we'll see what he can get out of him. But right quick, what's your thoughts?
Well, man, again, like you said, that massive frame, bro, like that was when you look at it, it's like, man, who is this guy and what is he doing? But you just see, bro, 6'7", 335.
83-inch wingspan. Same as Kyle Pitts.
Yes,
so
like, it's a frame. Like he ranked in the 90th percentile when it came to weight and wingspan, just to cater to your point. And he's got experience on the left and right side. Now, again, like you said, it doesn't have a whole lot of production, but again, a late round depth piece for your to develop at tackle. You still got Jake Nelson. Yeah, Jake Nelson. I want to make sure it was Jake, not Jack, but no, I think it is Jack Nelson. Jack Nelson. Yeah, it is Jack Nelson. So you got Jack Nelson there, and you also just brought in Taylor. You still got Storm Norton there, and I believe it's a name that I'm missing.
Juwan Taylor.
No, I said him. Do we bring back Jarrell? Was it Jarrell that we brought
Michael
back?
Jarrell, yes.
Jarrell. So again, you got some guys that you can work with. You got to have that depth there. Of course, losing Caleb McGarry, and then having to bring in Taylor. Still got Jake getting long in the tooth, and I expect next year to still be drafting more linemen. Maybe not as many, or bringing in not as many, but you still have undrafted free agent guys that you are bringing in too, because you got an offensive tackle in that regard too. So you got some guys, man. Got some old linemen, period, that we're going to be working out. It's interesting. In that competition room is going to be something else.
Yeah, and honestly, next year, depending on how the quarterback position shakes out, I think we draft Jake's replacement next year. Because it'll be the last year of his deal, and it'll be time. So yeah, that's where I'm going next year. If the quarterback situation shakes out, I'm going Jake's replacement, and I'm gonna stand on what I said, what we talked about last week. Joe Burrow would be my first target if he's available. You bring him in, you get that next man up at left tackle. You set for the future. You're already building the team the right way. So I mean, hey, that's the way it is. Man,
think about this too, though, bro. You look at Zach, like going back to Zach Branch. Zach Branch had an 87% catch rate in 2025, going along with that 4.3 speed. Then you also have, going back to Thompson, the Falcons prioritize athleticism in this draft, because remember I was saying about the 9.38 as far as on the RAS. Zach Branch was a 9.12. So again, that speed and athleticism, the Atlanta Falcons are really diving deep into it. And hey, these guys are going to be able to move as long as you're being able to have the right plays being called and the right execution. It's going to be some guys that are going to be moving with purpose on that field.
Right. And Dirty Bird Gang said he talking about a complete overhaul. And I'm gonna just be honest, DBG. I don't think the overhaul is gonna be bad as we think, because we may already have a right tackle on the team right now, and we only have to drop a left tackle. Bergeron and Lindstrom are going to be the staples of the offensive line. And you got to do is plug the center and the left tackle. And I think we straight. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but I don't think it's going to be bad as people think. With the way they building the team, they are already looking ahead with what they're picking up in this draft. You think about Jack Nelson last year, and then they pick up a right tackle, another big guy this year. So yeah, I think they headed in the right position. Johnny, what's up, my guy? He said impressive draft class. Do y'all see Braden Trice competing for a spot on the team? He's absolutely going to have to compete. And I think he may be the odd man out because 2 years, 2 injuries. We don't know how he's going to recover. And if he does he have that same burst he had when we drafted him? So yeah,
that's a great
we'll
question.
see.
It honestly, like this may be his last opportunity because of what you just said about the first he had the torn ACL, missed the season. Then he came back. It seemed like he was going to be ready to go, and he had that fluid on the knee and everything. So it's kept him out for the entire season again. So it's like you don't miss the first 2 years of your rookie deal, and it's going to be tough, man. I hope he's able to carve out a role because, I mean, I do remember the burst and seeing what Braylon Trice was before he went down. So I'm hoping that he's able to get back into football form and get back out there for the Atlanta Falcons. But I think this is his last shot. It's too much talent coming in, too much talent in this undrafted free agency that we're going to touch on here briefly here. It's just too much, bro. And it's just like if you're not on the field, your best ability is your availability. And it has nothing to do with liking a guy or not, because we talk about Troy Anderson as well. And you got to be on the field. You got to be available because these guys are coming in and you got guys that are undrafted that are scratching and clawing. And if they're available, you can't overlook those guys just because you got to pay the contract that hasn't been there.
Right. Yeah. The best ability is availability. So if you're not there, how can you fight for a job? But these are the undrafted free agents. We're gonna go through them right quick. Not gonna hold y'all because we been street.
And y'all, if y'all haven't caught the video, I did do a video on the undrafted free agents. Just excuse it at the 4 minutes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, please go check it out.
Yeah, man. I know YouTube tried to get me for
yeah, man. Mistake. Yeah, it happened, bro.
So yeah, so it's gonna be a little.
We're not perfect, bro. It happens. So,
but yeah, we talked about Jack Strand though. I think we can agree that we both like
quick thoughts on it. CJ.
No, I was saying I think we both can agree that we like.
I love that pickup. 6'5", 240.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6'5", 240. I love it. Let me see. Who's the quarterback? Alex Van Pelt is the quarterback coach. He in good hands. So, what the world? We still in? Yeah, we still in. Alex Van Pelt. Alex Van Pelt is the quarterback coach. They could take a risk. I absolutely love that. So them taking a risk on the quarterback. As I told y'all, they get a quarterback as an undrafted free agent. And Brock Purdy was a 7th round pick, so it can happen. So yeah, I absolutely love it, man.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go off camera too because they messing up on me. Yeah, I'm gonna go
I
off
mean,
camera,
we're right here.
Yeah, we still talking.
Yeah, we right here at the end anyway, man. But yes, like I said, I'm a fan of Jack Strand. It's going to be interesting to see where we go with that. Like you said, we got Alex Van Pelt, we got Thomas Engstrom, we got Tommy Reese. We got some guys that's going to help this guy right here. So it's going to be interesting. He's a wild card. Keep your eye on Jack Strand. But if I had to go outside of them, I'm going James Brockermeyer, man. And he is a guy that has some pedigree too. The son of former 1st round pick Blake Brockermeyer. And Hey, he is at that center position. He did not allow a sack at all, and he was
I
moving
remember his
things
dad.
around. Yeah, yeah, he was moving things around down at the Senior Bowl too, making headway, stonewalling guys, keeping guys away from the quarterback. I'm not gonna lie to you. To pick him, to have him on this team is gonna be very interesting. And regardless, I think you got to keep him as some depth behind Ryan Nuzil. Uh, and honestly, you never know. He may be a guy that could take over depending on what happens. You know, so he was all ACC, third team selection in the office. Like I said, that competition at center. I expect some things out of Brockermeyer if he holds up and translates from what I've been seeing at the Senior Bowl and seeing in the senior practices and from what I've seen on the tape. If it all holds up, I'm just saying, man, competition. That's one guy that I definitely like.
Your competition and what you love.
Oh yeah. Let me ask you this though,
Competition
man.
and what you love. But let's go through these undrafted free agents so we can get on out because StreamYard tripping. But
Okay.
let's get this thing going, man. Defensive line, CJ Nunley out of Purdue. He's an undrafted free agent line specialist. Philip Florenzo, Clemson, and I told y'all Clemson is a pipeline school. He was just one of 7 long snappers at the combine. Just think about that. And
Yeah.
McCullough has been our long snapper for years. So I guess they're just trying to move on from him too. Ryan Malman from Wisconsin, another Wisconsin lineman. Falcons signed Wisconsin offensive line, 6'8" left tackle. Standout is an intriguing developmental prospect, chance to make the roster. And as y'all see, they're taking all avenues to try to build this team the right way from the inside out. Tight end Brandon Frazier, one of my favorite signings, is a tight end H-back. And if y'all remember me saying, and A1 said it too, when you talk about, the run game, it's always good to have that fullback / H-back to open up that whole pause. But I think this is a great pickup.
Big guy, towering tight end.
You talked about key facts. But Keelan Mark Marion out of Miami, A1 talked about him a little bit earlier. 57 catches, 746 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like A1 said, he's a good special teams candidate. Cash Jones to me is another special teams candidate that I just love. He can catch the ball out the backfield, and he's a great special teams guy. You saw it at Georgia. Jack Villing out of Michigan State, another blocking tight end. He did have 36 catches for 359 yards and 3 touchdowns. But I'll let you take the next two. A1, go ahead.
Yeah, Valen, man. By the way, 15 career touchdowns. By the way, 15 career. Just saying, man. He's a big force as well.
Yeah.
So don't sleep on him. But yeah, you got
red zone target.
Yeah, man. You got offensive line. You got Cam Dewberry. It's going to be interesting to see where he makes his way out. Former highly rated recruit who provides guard depth, and you're going to need that behind guys like Lindstrom, and of course my guy MB. So it's like who else you got? Of course, we talked about the wide receivers. Like I said, we talked about them a little bit because we got 5 of them. 5. So, and that's Vinny Anthony, Malik Rutherford, Lamika Brockington, Andrell Anthony, and Keelan Marion. So you got those guys, and don't forget about the interesting guy that we talked about as well, coming back home, Carlos Allen, defensive tackle out of Houston, and he was a very productive interior lineman who led the FBS in defensive tackles with 80 total tackles in 2025. And then you also have Malcolm DeWalt IV, cornerback out of Akron, the defensive back who logged 58 tackles and 8 pass breakups in his final season. Highly productive. The only knock on him is I know people was talking about his level of competition that he played. They feel like it was kind of, soft. But at the end of the day, he still provides that cornerback depth, and he's going to come in and fight for a spot too.
Facts. But those are the free agents, man. Undrafted free agents. Like I said, man, they're gonna put up a fight to make this team. And I could see 2 to 3 on making the team, honestly. So yeah, Scott Kennedy, I saw that he really like Brockemeyer. Yeah, I think he gonna battle for that starting center position.
I like
So
him.
yeah, I could
I
definitely see it.
really,
Say
really,
his
really like
NFL comp was Tyler Linderbaum. So
him.
if he's Tyler Linderbaum, who just got
I'm,
paid $80 million, oh, we in damn good hands.
I'm trying to tell you, special teams got to improve. Yes, last year
Absolutely,
was
special
pure
teams,
horse-ish. Yes.
definitely.
Said New Zealand was solid. Competition will tell.
Yes,
I
New
just
Zealand was
like
solid.
solid. Yeah, that tape in that bloodline, man.
Agreed.
His
Agreed.
twin said his twin is good too. He had to stop due to injuries. Both were recruited out of Bama and then with the TCU. But yeah, correct. I like Brock a lot, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, Brockemeyer. I like him a lot. I like him. I like Jack Valen for that red zone target. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Brandon Frazier because he's a massive guy, man. That it's
They had played
crazy.
for the 49ers back in the day. So
Right,
that'll be
right.
something, man, to get another former player's kid to play center. But yeah, man. Yeah, StreamYard. So we're gonna wrap it up. And we're gonna thank y'all for coming through because yeah, we try to cover everything. If y'all miss anything, y'all just checking in, man. Please go back and check out the replay. And as I said earlier, man, please like A1 Forever. Go to subscribe to A1 Forever, Smitty Sports Machine, ATLGA Faithful, Georgia Texas Boy on YouTube. Like we always do, man. Take us on out, Chris. Well, tell us where to find you.
Hey man, A1 Forever Sports is platform on YouTube. Please come over, like, comment, and subscribe. Be a part of the A1 family. As love to have you. But also catch me at the Hawks Digest as well, man. The Atlanta Hawks, man, do or die tomorrow night against those New York Knickerbockers. And man, at least, man, come on, man, give us a game 7, man. Go ahead and give us a game 7, Hawks. But regardless, Twitter A1 Forever, Instagram A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Y'all make sure y'all be generational because it's always time to be and find your peace today because positive energy always creates elevation.
Facts. And as I tell y'all, man, I always keep God first, man. Always. Catch me at Smitty Sports Machine right here on YouTube, and also catch me on Twitter at FatBoySlim_21. Draft season is over, so news is going to slow up just a little bit, but we will still find time to do live shows. Try to find guys we can bring in for guests, and still give y'all insight as to what's going on with the Falcons. Ms. Drill, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it as always. Yeah, Papo's thank you. How about them Braves? 21-9.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, T Terry. Appreciate you, Kevin. DBG, ATLGA Faithful. Appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in, man. But yeah, you just gotta tell y'all, man, just keep God first, man. Whatever going on, just know nothing lasts forever. And trust me, it's always a better tomorrow. Ms. Drill, thank you for another donation. Truly appreciate it. DBG, say Chop Braves, nation, baby. Braves country. Braves country.
Go.
Absolutely. But you got anything else before we roll on out?
Hey man, I ain't got nothing else except for y'all go to bed.
On that note, man, we're gonna roll on out of here, man. We're gonna holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.